And now there are new calls for a clean sweep of St. Louis city government in the wake of the aldermanic bribery scandal.
Yeah, we're talking about all new wards and possibly all new aldermen. Fox News' Andy Banker is on the story for us, all new tonight at 10.
Next spring, half of these desks at the Board of Aldermen will be gone as the number of aldermen and the number of wards in St. Louis shrinks by half, from 28 to 14. Well, now that entire process is being called into question again because of something revealed in those federal indictments. Now, former board president Lewis Reed led the process of drawing the boundaries of the city's new 14-ward map, and he is quoted as touting that new map as a source of his growing power. On page 31 of the 66 pages of indictment, saying, of the 14 seats, we need to control 10. If we do that, we control the city. There are aldermen who now question the legitimacy of those new wards and the new board that will represent them.
I think that is really concerning. I mean, next year we are reducing the board from 28 wards to 14 wards. And, we have to ensure that that process was carried out in a way that really is for the best interests of the residents in the city. And after reading that indictment, I'm not so sure.
I firmly believe that with the redistricting, upcoming in 2023, going from 28 wards to 14, that the city of St. Louis deserves and now needs a board of aldermen that are wholly new to the position. And that includes myself. The city of St. Louis received 66 pages of reasons why they should not trust the Board of Aldermen.
The Board of Elections is now scrambling to arrange a series of special elections to fill seats left vacant by the resignations of Reed, plus former Alderman Jeffrey Boyd and John Collins Muhammad, all of whom were indicted for allegedly taking bribes in exchange for political favors.
We should continue the work of the city of St. Louis. We have an interim president in President Joe Vollmer. He's been on the board for many, many years.
And the interim board president says the new ward should stand, pointing out that no alderman voted against them when they were approved in December. Andy Banker, Fox 2 News.